Good morning. This is the time and place for the planning officer's hearing for November 17, 2010. My name is Eric Krause, and I will be conducting the hearing as hearing officer. We have one case today for a conditional use permit, and relevant exhibits are posted on the bulletin board behind me. Excuse me. This is under the provisions of Title 30, Chapter 3042 of the Glendale Municipal Code. A conditional use permit shall be granted if four required findings are present. These include that the proposed use will be consistent with the elements and objectives of the general plan, that the use and its associated structures and facilities will not be detrimental to the public health or safety, the general welfare of the environment, that the use and facilities will not adversely affect or conflict with adjacent uses or impede the normal development of surrounding property, and the adequate parking and adequate public and private facilities, utilities, landscaping, parking spaces, and traffic and circulation measures are or will be provided for the proposed use. Since the application does involve the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages, there are also 5 criteria that shall be considered in making the 4 required findings for a CUP. These include that a census tract with more than the recommended maximum concentration level on sale or off-sale use, and as recommended by the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, that such use does not or will not tend to intensify or otherwise contribute to the adverse impacts on the surrounding area caused by such overconcentration. Number 2, crime reporting district location of the existing or proposed use with a crime rate which exceeds 20% of the city average for Part 1 crimes as reported by the Glendale Police Department. Number 3, that the existing or proposed use does not or will not adversely impact any church, public or private school or college, daycare facility, public park, library, hospital, or residential use within the surrounding area. Number 4, that adequate parking and loading facilities are or will be provided for the existing or proposed use, and other reasonable alternatives satisfy the transportation and parking needs of the existing or proposed use. And number 5, that notwithstanding consideration of the criteria in subsection 1 through 4 above, the existing or proposed use does not or will serve a public necessity or public convenience purpose for the area. If the evidence presented in the application and at the hearing meets the criteria just described, then the planning hearing officer can either approve or impose conditions for approval on the case in question. If the findings of fact are not evident, then the request will be denied. Notification of this hearing was accomplished by the use of public notices, which were mailed to the property owners located within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question, and placed in the local newspaper. Excuse me. The hearing will proceed as follows. I will read the description of the application request. I'll read the comments received from other city departments and any letters or communication from interested parties. The case planner will make a brief overview of the case, give analysis, and make a recommendation. The applicant will be asked to come forward and stating both name and address, and will be asked to present the case within a 15-minute time limit. Others in support or in opposition to the application, interested parties will be asked to come forward to speak, again clearly stating both name and address within a 3-minute time limit. Lastly, the applicant will be given the opportunity to make closing comments, if desired, in response to testimony given by preceding speakers within a 5-minute time limit. Then the hearing will be closed and the case will be taken under submission. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing and will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all parties and persons who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at the hearing or by submitting written responses, and have provided their name and mailing address. The date of the decision letter will be the date appearing on the letter. Under the appeal provisions of Title 30, Chapter 3062 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the date of the decision. Anyone wishing to appeal may obtain forms and brochures on the procedures from the Permit Service Center located in room 101 of this floor. If you wish to speak, please fill out write your name and address on one of the speaker forms, which were been provided at the front door, and submit those to our planning assistant. I would also like to inform everyone that the official proceedings of the planning hearing officer's hearing are being recorded as part of the record. Okay, our first case today is located at 1710 Victory Boulevard. It's for a conditional use permit, case number PCUP 2010-14. The applicant is Raul Gonzalez. The owner is Alfred Tavanian. and the case planner is Gable Riza. This is an application for a conditional use permit to allow the on-site sale, service, and consumption of beer and wine at a full-service restaurant located at the subject address, 1701 Victory Boulevard. It's located in the C3 Commercial Service Zone. I've taken a look at the files. Previous to the hearing, there were no comments that were submitted by any of the other departments. Excuse me. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Reza for a brief presentation of the project. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Krause. Just a small clarification. The address for the subject property is 1701 Victory Boulevard. The subject property is a corner lot providing access from Victory Boulevard and Western Avenue. There are 3 buildings on site for a total of 4 tenants. The tenant space which Mambo's restaurant is located is 1,155 square feet, and the site contains 20 parking spaces. The overall square footage for the entire site is 21,210 square feet. As you said, Mr. Krause, no other city departments had any major concerns regarding this application. According to the Glendale Police Department, the census tract which this property is located allows 4 on-sales establishments. There are currently 3 on-sale establishments in this tract. Based on Part 1 crime statistics for Census Tract 3016.02 in 2009, there were 69 crimes, 17% below the citywide average. Within this last calendar year, there have been 4 service calls for police service at Mambo's restaurants. However, the police department did not indicate any major concerns regarding this application. This application is consistent with the elements and objectives of the general plan and will not impede normal development around the surrounding properties and will simply be a renewal of an existing CUP. This small-scale restaurant and its location in the area make it unlikely for transportation and parking to be serious issues. While there are residential developments located north of the property, it is anticipated that these uses would not be adversely impacted since the proposed use is not a bar, tavern, nightclub, or banquet hall. Such uses would have triggered a greater parking requirement. Staff believes all of the findings can be made in a positive manner due to the project's small scale and lack of any major service calls and the community that would benefit from this healthy amenity in the surrounding area. Alcohol sales are commonly an accessory service to a restaurant, and the continued use of sale of such beverages at this restaurant should not have any negative impacts. Staff recommends approval of this application with 15 conditions. All 15 conditions are noted in the staff report. The applicant is in the audience, and I would also be happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, great. Thank you very much. I don't have any questions at this time. At this point, if the applicant would like to come forward and use their 15 minutes for the presentation, that'd be great. If you can please state your name and address, please.
Yes, please. My name is Raul Gonzalez. The address is 1701 Victory Boulevard, Mambo's Cafe. And basically, we're interested in renewing our conditional use permit for the continued allowance of beer and wine on site.
Okay, what I need you to do this time, if you can kind of go through the different 4 required findings. If you,
That
would be what's in your application would be fine if you kind of want to go over why you feel that your project meets those requirements.
are we talking about like the Part 4 finding facts of the application, or?
I believe so, yeah. There should be 4 required findings. It's the ones that I
A,
read
B,
off.
C, D here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is any particular sequence, or?
No, just whatever you feel is fine.
Basically, with we've had a liquor license since 1998, and we really haven't changed anything at all. And we don't plan on changing anything in the restaurant. We just want to renew it. It meets the intent of the zoning ordinance, and it has proven not to be detrimental to the public health or safety. The The on-site sales, service, and consumption of alcoholic beverages will be accessory to the primary restaurant use. Similar uses exist in the area and within the community and have not proven to be detrimental to the general welfare of the neighborhood or the environment. We haven't had any issues with the Glendale Police Department within almost 22 years of our existing business. I feel our restaurant is properly accommodated and located on the site. The structure, once again, has been in existence for close to 22 years, our business. And I feel it's beneficial to the neighborhood. Once again, the police department shouldn't have any negative comments of our restaurant, indicating that our existing facility is adequate for the intended use of the property.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add? Or 'cause I do have a couple questions I'd like to ask.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Have you guys had any trouble meeting any of the conditions that have been imposed over the previous years?
No.
So, okay. And then, so you said you're not proposing any kind of changes to the way the restaurant
Sir.
operates? It's going to be strictly as it operates, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you guys had a liquor license since you've been in operation, or has it just been...
Liquor license since 1998.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, the
Yeah, I've
plans...
been in operation, though, I'm sorry, since 88.
Okay.
1988.
So, the plans that you guys did submit, those are accurate in terms of
Yes,
the
sir.
seating arrangements and the parking
Yes, sir.
and all kind of stuff?
Yes, sir.
Now, all 20 spaces, are those dedicated solely to your use? There's other auto-related uses?
We do have kind of like a split system with the guys in the back where 3 cars don't really move. It's behind us, it's a mechanic shop. So the other 17 spaces are vacant, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how many employees do you guys have on site?
11.
11? Where would they normally park? They park on the street?
They park on the street.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in the police report, they mentioned there was four calls that were specifically for Mambas. Can you kind of...
You know what?
some of
I
those?
honestly think that all 4 calls were something outside of Mambo's that that happened in our parking lot, and they called. Like, I can remember one. It was kind of like a road rage incident, and they both pulled into my lot, and they called the police from my lot. It was a young lady had an issue with a older guy, and the other 3, honestly, I don't even remember what they were.
Okay.
Oh, let me see. Wait. What was the other time?
If we're going to have... If you wish to speak, you need to kind of come up to the mic and state your name.
Oh, okay. This is it's my dad. Dile tu nombre.
Raúl González, Senior.
You remember any
The
other
other,
times?
once one of the customer was small.
Oh, yeah. There was one incident. There was a customer sitting outside in the patio smoking marijuana. And I went out there and I said, you got to put that out, And basically I said, okay. So I called the police.
Okay.
The other 2 I don't recall.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't have any further questions at this time. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add at this point?
No, sir.
Does staff have any kind of comments or anything they wish to add?
Mr. Cross, I pulled the comments from the police file, but I have indication of what those 4 service calls are, but they are in a code that I can't understand.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. Actually, I have one other side note. This is an email that was presented, that was sent to me on behalf of Joanne Hedge. This is what her communication is saying. Speaking for myself personally and not representing the Glendale Rancho Homeowners Association, I personally have no objection to the long-time neighboring restaurant, Mambo's, acquiring a liquor permit for beer and wine. More troubling, actually, are the area liquor stores in dire need for facade improvements, such as the one across from Victory and Western. So I believe your neighbors across the street from
Yeah,
you.
70s.
But for the record, Joanne Hedge doesn't have any objection to the renewal of the CUP.
Great, thank you. Seeing as there's no speaker cards submitted at this point, I'm going to take the case under submission, be issuing my decision within the next week or so. And I think that's it. So that officially closes today's hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.